Well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Chicago Bears. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Brady now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Second and 10. To throw is Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now a first down throw, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, the training staff takes a peek. We'll take a break. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Fields now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now Brady. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Scotty Miller, 49 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here's Cohen now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So after the INT, it's Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. This defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. To throw, it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught. Touchdown. Tom Brady with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. What a first quarter. Boom, you're up 3 scores just like that, and the offense clicking.
And they're thinking to themselves, we can totally overwhelm this team. Now flip it over. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Can't panic here. Talk to yourselves one play at a time to try and get back in.
And that's cliche, but really that's the message. This is still very early on in the game. We're in the first quarter.
If you look at it as down 20, then you almost have no shot.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And that one results in 35 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And, CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. What's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. They snap it to Fields. And finding Keelan Cole. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
To return is Jadon Mickens. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Brady. throw left side is complete on the diving effort. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Play action. It's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. To the air again, Fields. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, is so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall.
Well, a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And this is back to a 5-point game. The return is Mickens. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down is Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Levante David in on the tackle. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. He's got a man, complete. And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off play action, Fields. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now Fields. He's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them.
And he's going to go down again. Shaquille Barrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Now a play fake. Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 79 yards. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Joe Tryon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hand.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Booked Antoine Winfield Jr.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. From the 36, Brady. Flushed out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You say Khalil Mack and offensive coordinators get very, very nervous, and there's another example of exactly why. 9 sacks in 2020. He's been named to 6 consecutive Pro Bowls and been an All-Pro in 2 of the previous 3 seasons in Chicago.
Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to throw, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And it's a fumble. And the Buccaneers have it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 2nd and goal, Brady. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Succop's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
From the 50, here's Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs' 40-yard line.
78 yards on the ground for him so far. Fields on third down.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
The Bucs on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here's Cohen now to return.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the 4th quarter.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. On first down, Jones. This one is stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
No, stick these sticks. Three down. 26.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and inches, Brady. That's going to be caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
They just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Here's Cohen now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Again, Fields.
Got an open man, Keelan Cole.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
And left side here, it's Graham. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Now it's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
But yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Santos with the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25. They will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game.